Rick the Rum Runner back with you, and we are in front of some people that I know well, and you've seen in my blog a number of times. Tailwinds Distilling, and we have all the brothers here, although Casey left her. I just saw Casey leave. So this is Toby, Jamie.
How you doing?
Master Distiller and Master Distiller, however you put that.
Yeah, he's
Superior Distiller and Master Distiller, is that how it?
yeah, Superior Distiller, Master
Okay.
Distiller.
So we'll go with that route. Now I'm familiar with their rums. Sometimes a little bit more familiar than I need to be. And I can tell you that in theirs in particular, they were the first ones that introduced me to where I didn't get that molasses hit on their crystal rum. I got a herbal, almost a floral, and it turns out it's cane sugar that brings that out. And I've noticed that in other ones now as I've gone along. So you guys taught me a lot about rum beyond the four that we all know about. So thank you for that. I got to say that. But one of their innovations that they came up over the years with was their coffee infused rum. And I got to tell you, around my house, yeah, it's one of my popular. We've had aunts, uncles, grandmothers, brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law. They like it over ice cream.
Yeah.
They just put it over, and I've had it. It is good. And it's a great dessert drink on a little bit of ice or chilled. You put the bottle in the fridge, let it go. They also, let's see. See, you guys hardly don't have to talk at all. Oh, I got to ask a couple questions though, because I never got the full story. When actually did you start Tailwinds Distilling?
When we actually started distilling, it was June of 2012. Our tasting room opened a couple months later in August, but our official start date, our first fermentations were June 2012.
So I wasn't there too long after the beginning. So I really was. I walked in on Toby, who was sampling the still, and we had a love affair with 160 proof that day, I believe. So anyways, in that short period of time, they've come up with a number of different flavors of rum. Jamie, tell me about some of the variations of what people would call regular rum and what special you've done with it.
Well, our first year, our sales were just based off of white rum and our silver agave spirit, which obviously you've had all of this, what we have to offer. But we needed time to put stuff into barrels, and one thing we wanted to do was create a rum that had that sweet flavor, but also had a little bit of a kick to the back end of it with letting it sit in a barrel for a few months. So we ultimately decided on a rye whiskey barrel age. So we're right now hitting about 15 months in a rye whiskey barrel, and that's our amber rum that is now out on market. And then with the coffee rum, it was kind of a collaboration between us and our friends that run Two Brothers Brewing in Warrenville, Illinois. They also run a restaurant in Aurora where they happen to serve their own coffee. They fresh roast the coffee beans that morning, and we take those fresh roasted beans that afternoon and put them into our batch of white rum. So the white rum serves as a base, and then a blend tank for about 4 or 5 days, the coffee is allowed to absorb with the white rum. And then from there we'll filter, and then we have a little bit of secret sweetening that we do to it, but it's overall makes a great product. Like you said, a great dessert drink that we have. So.
That's a great explanation, and I could say I've had a couple of coffee rums, and what I like about yours guys is it's got a very fresh coffee taste. It literally tastes like the coffee you have in the morning, only with a really nice kick to it. And it is a great variation on it. So when can we expect to see the aged rum from the rye barrels? How long before that is open?
The rye barrels, we're going to keep going. That's our 15-month aged rum. We've got a few that we put away for a few extra years, but we feel that the rye, kind of at a 15-month period, is a great sweet spot for the rum.
Now, I think the only ones I had was the very first barrels you had, which, if I remember, were wine barrels.
French oak wine barrels.
Yeah. So I haven't had this, so yeah. I think let's have a little taste of this one. So this will be your amber rum from a rye barrel.
That's correct.
Oh yeah, it still has this as its backbone.
And as you described before,
a touch of wood.
Yeah.
Cameraman has to have a taste of this. Oh, that's got an interesting long taste. It's very smooth, which you guys have never had a problem with making a smooth product. I got to tell you that. Yeah, there's no bite to it whatsoever, and you know what? I think you're onto something with using the rye barrel. I think it's got a really great flavor to it, but it's still all rum.
For a young rum, it comes out. For a young rum, it comes out exactly like you would expect a 4 or 5 year rum to come out. And as you were touching on before, one of the differences why you don't get that molasses taste is using that high grade molasses. It has a lot of that raw cane, which you can even taste coming through on the rye whiskey age. So
yeah, and even with this, I've said before, another taste where I've put you guys up high on the list is you actually do get a molasses taste, but it's like way later. And it makes it kind of interesting because you say, oh, so there it is. Really good. In fact, I got a little bit of that molasses now, as a matter of fact. But a really great product, really great team here, and Rick Buda, Rick the Rum Runner, signing off from Tailwinds.
thank you guys.
Excuse me.